Hi everybody, welcome in. Like I said, it's tea time on a Thursday, which means out of work for the day, which is fantastic. Hi there, welcome in. And we're going to do something I've been putting off for a little bit. I have some really nice pieces that I picked up at an estate sale a while back now. And I'm going to cut some of these, so some really nice stuff. And I forgot what Dave told me that was. So, hi everybody, welcome in. I'm semi-prepared. No, I'm pretty well prepared. I always think I'm not. And then we have more than enough to do. So, yeah, I'm going to get my safety gear together. Went out, bought some new gloves. Just to see if that helps. But today, we are going to work on... I've got 3, maybe 4 different items I want to work with. I have this that I bought at an estate sale. I got it really cheap. And from our friends on 2, maybe 3 different people have thought that this may be Carico Lake, which is Landis County. And if it's not, it's just a really, really nice Variscite. But I think it may just be Carico Lake. It's really nice. It's got the florets on it. Really nice green color. And we're going to cut a slice of that. And then this was also from an estate sale. I think they were the same sale. But it's been a while. Hi everybody, welcome in. Glad you can make it. And we're going to do... I have no idea where this comes from. Other than it's really, really nice. And I think we're going to do... We'll do cab out one of these. We're going to cab out one of these, which may be Carico Lake. But I've had a couple of different sources think that it was. Let's give that a quick... It's not like the PP green. They do like a pea, the vegetable colored green. But it does have the same similar florets on it. So we're going to see how that cuts. Thank you. I appreciate that, Susie. Welcome in. That's not... Oh, a tar... Oh, okay. You're Aussie. Are you Australian? I'm just sort of breaking up the name there and making assumptions. Or is it Atara Aussie altogether? But welcome in. I hope I didn't just butcher your name. This is some really nice color in here. I don't know if it's stabilized or not. We will find out when we get to the wheels, because I will smell it. So I got that. And then we got some more block from Sam, especially cabin block. This is just the sort of more blue. A little bit of green in there, but not much. And I'll probably cab out a piece of this. Just because I like the way that polishes up. And I completely forgot what kind of jasper or agate this is. Or maybe it's a jasper agate. But that is, you can see through that. And if you can see, maybe somebody can help me out. Well, welcome in. So there's flashlighting. It strobes out, so it kind of looks like a little alien head. So yeah, and imagine in Israel that you get access to some other nice turquoises over there as well, which we don't see over here. Although I do have some Persian right here. This is a bit better quality than this piece we cut last week. I don't know if it's much better, and we might have a go at that late in the day, just because it's pyretized. We're in the States. Grew up all over Europe. And that's it. So that's what we're going to do today. This one was kind of cool. I think this came from the same estate sale. And maybe one day when I want to ruin my wheels, we'll polish that up too. So let's take a swing over here. If you wouldn't mind hitting those thumbs up buttons or like buttons or whatever it is you want to call it, does help push out the video for me. and I don't think it's at any cost to anybody. Let's go ahead, tighten up right there. I work on a Diamond Pacific Genie, and she does have a little bit of age. I'll just rise you up just a tiny bit there. There you go. And we're going to get straight into this. So thank you all for coming in. I really appreciate it. And here we go. So let's make some noise. I think... Shoot. I don't know which one to start with. You want to start with a blue one or a green one? Anybody? First one in gets to choose. If not, I'm going to choose for everybody. And I think we're going to go left. This one. Hi, Freckle Cat. Green. So this one. Okay. Thanks, Peter. Appreciate it. Welcome in. And I guess I should put my other glove on. Let's get you in closer so we can move around. Like that. How's that? That should be close enough. And we can move you around from there without me having to hit the screen, I hope. That's the plan. So I had a bit of a fumble on the beginning there. One of our friends just texted me. Dave just texted me. So I'll get with him later on. Yeah, likes would be appreciated. Like I said, it helps the channel, helps me push this out. And we've been growing pretty quick. I'm really happy. Where from, Peter? Just straight up London? I know some of the boroughs in London. So I'm kind of a Chelsea fan. There's a reason for it, but I'm kind of a Chelsea fan. For a long time. Not that I follow it as much as I used to. And then I got a brother who's a Liverpool fan and another one that's a Manchester fan. And I think the last match that I saw was Chelsea beating Liverpool, and that's probably a month or two ago. So, all right, this is a really nice piece. And I think I'm just going to do it exactly how it cut. So it's sort of beveled off, peated off, whatever you want to call it. And we're going to keep that same beveling on the side or the girdle and see if we can make something really nice out of that top. Kind of got like a trolley, elvish looking thing in the middle there. All right. Let's see how soft it is. I haven't tested this. I've had this, man, it's got to be a year already. And I just chopped it and then reached out to people trying to figure out where it might have come from. I'm missing something, so I'm going to make a big mess today, but here we go. And I'm about to find out. Let's put my mask on. This is natural. Islington. Okay. I have family like south of London. I grew up south of London. Is it that bad? Well, no wonder I haven't heard from him. That's pretty bad. But yeah, my family grew up Northern England. My cousins and uncles, aunts, uncles, my dad, they all grew up around Lancashire and Yorkshire. Hey Dusty, how you doing today? Welcome in. Doing a nice piece of what we believe is a green turquoise, or it's actually a Variscite, F-A-U I think it is, X-C-I-T-E. We believe it is probably Carico Lake by its looks, and the family that I bought it from was from Colorado, although they lived over here on the East Coast. So yeah, I'm doing pretty good. It's warmed up, thank goodness. So, all right. Pretty muddy. It is not stabilized. You can smell there's no epoxy or anything in there. I started to, Peter. I've only done like 3 pieces, but they all turned out really good. I did a really nice silver cross for my wife. It has a really nice piece of hourhead jasper in the middle. I think it's on a couple of shorts. I think I did a couple of shorts on it on YouTube. Let's remember what I'm doing here while I'm talking. I'm going to take that up just a little bit. This is pretty muddy. Fairly soft because it isn't stabilized. And I think that's pretty much the shape we're going to have. Which isn't bad, it's a nice shape. And now I've got the general shape. I'm going to take off this top corner edge. And I think I'm going to move over to the middle. Just because it is pretty soft. Thank you, Peter, I appreciate it. It's doing pretty well. It's actually doing way better than I thought it would at the beginning of the year. And so yeah, we do lives Thursdays and Sundays. On Thursdays it's around tea time for us, 5:30 Eastern Standard Time, and then on Sundays we do it a little after lunch and after church. So people can still watch their games, or they can relax at home, put on some music and watch, ask questions, and yeah, we're doing really well. I'm going to do this bottom little corner here, take off the edge just to stop it from chipping out. And I'm going to stop pressing so hard. Hey Jeff, how are you doing today? I meant to reach out to you actually to see. I wasn't quite sure where all that boulder opal you showed yesterday was really nice. I have a few pieces very similar. You said it was from down south somewhere, and I wasn't sure. Or it was from, I think it was south of where you live. So is that where you got the material from that you showed in your premiere yesterday? I was wondering if it was on the east or west coast. Palm Beach, it could be worse. You could be up in like northern Michigan right now or something like that, trying to drive a truck up a hill. Hi everybody, welcome in. Yeah, I lived down there for a while. Not Palm Beach, but south of Palm Beach. And as much as I miss the beach, I wasn't a huge fan of the traffic eventually. It got really bad. You know, it'd take you 45 minutes to go from northern Hollywood up to Boca or something. Or actually take an hour. So that's just on 95. Let me concentrate what I'm doing right here. I could make this stone disappear really quick, so I've got to be careful. You see how muddy it is coming off the wheel? So I'm not sure if this doesn't need some sort of stabilization. I'll cut a stone out of it, but it's pretty soft. Okay. Yeah, the hour nuts look pretty amazing. So let me show you. So this area around this area is much softer on the outside. Even feels different. So this is actually really nice right here, solid. So I gotta be careful that I don't undercut too much over here, which I can feel it doing. Means I gotta go even softer. And we may move over to the Nova wheel. Just because it gives me a little more leeway on the other wheel. And it may take longer, but I won't make a big, huge mistake. We believe it's Carico Lake, which is Landis County, and I believe Colorado. But that was an educated guess from a couple of different sources, which I trust, but I'm not going to name them because they don't particularly like trying to name stuff for you, because then people get upset when it turns out that that's not what it is. So an educated guess was Carico Lake, and that was taking into account what it looks like, where I got it from, and what I know about the family where I got it from. So I know from going to the estate sale that they visited Colorado very often. And I believe they lived there for a little bit. And this was in their living room, a pretty well-to-do family. And everybody walked by this thinking it's just a rock. And it is just a rock, but it's a really pretty rock. And if you look up Carico Lake, and look at stuff that doesn't come from New Delhi and actually comes from out there, it can be really expensive. Hi Liam, welcome in. Now let's move over to this Nova wheel. Gives me a little bit more of control without me taking off too much. I'm just going to go around the outside, make that girdle even. But I don't know why I decided, I know why I just decided to start with a tricky one. You guys in the chat told me to do this. So, I can blame you guys. But I was going to have to do it anyway. Hi everybody, good evening. Yeah, the subs are coming along. I think we're up to like 850 or above. If I could hit 900 soon, that's going to be amazing. I would love to hit 1,000 by the end of the year. These are not goals I put to myself at the beginning of last year at all. Not even close. So I've had a lot of support from the rock hounders, the lapidarists, some of the jewelers, some of the resellers have been absolutely fantastic. Okay. That's pretty nice and even all the way around. Hi, Showbell, welcome in. Look at that, that's really nice. So much harder, this little area right here, than this area, but I think I can work it out. I need to check my girdle, I need a little dabble right there. Hey, Northern Star. How you doing today? Hope the dogs are doing well. Hope your lapidary is coming along. I know, I think I just got Dave Duncan's in today. And I'm looking forward to opening that up. Might just save it till Sunday. Yeah, it's a great community. Truckle Cat, I don't know if you were listening last night while I was, I think you were, but I was watching Jeff and his wife Vicky while they were doing some fantastic finds that Jeff made on one of his trips of some boulder opal, some tubipede opal. There's a really nice mosaic triplet on there, and a few little purpley blue jelly opal knobbies that he had too. A little envious. But really nice stuff. I'm hoping you, out of that crack bag, there are a couple stones, Jeff, that you got out of the craze bag that'll easily pay for that parcel. One of those stones will pay for that parcel. The one you snapped in half, you could just redo that one. It'll easily make the money that you spent. Okay, I think we're going to stop right there before we go on to the next 3 wheels. Get this going, just do the back slightly. Not pressing hard at all. Yeah, just check them like you did last night. Take a little flashlight with you. You know, if he's not charging too much, go for it. You also got to remember that most of the people that we're buying off kind of know what they're doing. So they're trying not to give their best stones away for too little. Unless you just got lucky and purchased the whole lot. Opal can be, not only is it addictive, but when you start looking at it, your eyes start going around in circles, like a little cyclone. And before you know it, you've got stuff in your hand, and you've got more than you need, and it might not be quite the quality that you're expecting. But then also, you take your opportunities when you can, because if you go back a week from now or 2 weeks from now, it'll be gone. Hi everybody, welcome in. Yeah, we're pushing for 900, kind of. It'd be nice, it'd be really nice. We've been working pretty hard, and we just appreciate everybody coming in, saying hi, spending a little bit of time with us. Alright, that looks really nice. So, from that to that. That was a nice nugget right here. Yeah, I'm pretty high. Happy with that. Hey, too high. Welcome in. Alright, let's put that one down. And I'm going to start with one of these blue ones. So this was the other one. Don't know where it's from. Same estate sale. I think it was the same estate sale. Or maybe it was just back-to-back weeks. And this one, I grabbed this one up pretty quick. How's it go? I think it was like that. So this was it. Really all I could see was this. I was pretty new to turquoise at the time. So it's got to be like 2 years ago. And got it home and thought it was turquoise, maybe chrysocolla. I wasn't really sure without cutting it, and then after cutting it, I'm about 99.9% sure it's turquoise. And look at the color on that. So I could cut it in a different angle maybe to get just the blue, but I didn't know any different when I did it. And I think we're going to start with a bigger piece actually. And we're going to take some of it in. We're going to leave some of the matrix on the outside for contrast. And I don't know if this is stabilized or not. And I will find out in about 10 seconds. So let's just move you over. Hi, Quemo. So do this. So this one's a little bit harder, you can tell just from the sound. And it may be stabilized because of the sound, but if it's a really high quality turquoise, it may not be. It may be just natural and naturally hard. And right now, this is natural. This is not stabilized. Wow. I'm not sure what virus is. Maybe pyrite? You'll fire it. Alright, so I'm just going to go around the outside, taking off the skin all the way around, and beginning to form my girdle. Alright, we're almost at 20 likes and 100 people. Fantastic. I'm not pretty sure of that, Jeff. Maybe you could figure that out. Okay. I think I'm going to try and keep this as the top. I got to find the right shape. It's going to be a free form either way. Hi Aiden. Hey Jeffrey, how you doing today? I don't know which side I like better. I guess I like this side better. I just like that matrix in the middle, but I'm going to take all that out. There we go. Pressing pretty hard there. Going to bring this in just a little bit. There's really not much color to it. I think that frames it out pretty good. Thank you, Freckle Cat. Hey, Butt. Butte. Sorry. Welcome, man. Starting to see a lot of familiar faces. Yeah, it's really nice stuff. I found it in the estate sale, so I got really lucky. That's kind of how I do my rock pounding around here. Is I have to rock pound other people's finds. Alright. Let's move this over a little. Anyway, I hope everybody's having a good week. I was lucky enough to have a shorter week because of Veterans Day, which was nice. I wish I had a short week next week, but We'll be waiting until Thanksgiving week. Alright, just cleaning this up, right? And go around. This is hard. So the matrix is soft, but the turquoise itself is really hard. And it's not stabilized. I can't smell a thing other than sort of a phosphate. Yeah, it's a really, I have a whole nugget of it. So that's having a hard time coming down on that edge. This edge up here is a lot softer. Yeah, it's just a little bit softer as well. So I want to make my girdle the same all the way around, or at least close to it. I don't know which side I like better. That one or that one? I think it's going to be this one. I already started it, so. Hi, Marcel. The Pyrus on it. Is it like a polychrome? Or are you saying it's Pyrus because it's got two different materials? It's not a term that I'm very familiar with. But I'm here to learn. That's why we're all here. And if that's a geological term or a mineralogist term, I'd love to know it. Okay. Looking pretty good on the edge. Need to bring it in a bit more. And then we're going to go from a 45 degrees to like a 30 degree all the way around the edge. Do the 30. This is just giving it a bit of a dome. So I'm just pulling it on the wheel and then slowly turning it, slowly rotating it. I'm going from the center to the edge, but using different forces depending on how close that edge is. It's dipping on there. Let me get this out. A little hard down here where it's softer, and that's my fault. There's a soft spot right there. Gotta redo that. And what it is there's a little lump on the back that I need to get rid of. I need to flatten the back out. It's messing with my skills. Hi everybody, welcome in. I like the back. I always like the back. I'm trying to keep as much blue as I can and kind of messing with my shape. Oh, yeah. Let's move on to the next wheel. This one's messing with me. Have you ever watched Justin's? Have you ever watched Justin Thomas's sanding of an opal? He sits there for like a day, couple of days. Man, well, it's nice, but I'm messing with it a little wrong. I don't like it. I don't like the shape. It's what the stone's telling me to do, I just don't like it very much. That's okay. Trust the process. Hi, Jesus. That side where all the color is trying to tell me to cut it off, and I don't want to take it off. It's trying to make me do it though. That's better. Yeah, it's trying to. No, I'm leaving it for right now. I mean, it really wants me to take that off. So I'm leaving it. I'm leaving it for right now. It's got all that color on it. I'll take a little bit of it off. Alright. Leave a wiggle waggle on it. Comb it out. Thank goodness it got a little bit warmer by the end of the week. When we did the live on Sunday. It was pretty chilly out here. And I don't know if you know that opal guy, but if you do, I think most of us do. His channel's pretty cool, and he does a lot of opal, but he also does a lot of photography, and he put out his photography of the lights this week, and they came out pretty great. I'm not sure, Austin. It's unknown. Quite lightly, but I really don't know. The first piece that we did, I know the family would visit Colorado all the time, and then in asking a few of our friends, they were pretty sure it was probably Carico Lake, but I don't know if this was. I'm sure they took trips down to New Mexico and Arizona as well. This is not stabilized, though, I can tell you that. So whatever it is, the turquoise itself is pretty hard. Okay, I kind of like that. And we're going to leave it like that before we go on to the other wheels. I might have to reshape it down the road here, but we're going to finish it up just like that. So this one came from a chunk like that. It's a full-on nugget. And then this one came from this nugget. And I do like to take a slab or two and cut them out. I really want to take that off. I might take that off eventually. I can do that anytime. We take that out? I don't know. Anyway, so that's the chunk that came from. Pretty hard. And it's not stabilized. I can't smell anything except for a little bit of phosphate. So that's 2. Let's move on to number 3. I got some more of the Sam's cabs. From Specialty Cab and Block. This doesn't have, has a little bit of green in it, but not very much. Mostly blues. And we're going to cab out a piece of this. Probably, I think, that one. That's pretty nice stuff. So the first slab we did from Sam, so it's Specialty Cabs and Block on Etsy. He's got, yeah, I like the Rio Azzurri too. These two, actually, I reached out to Sam, and these were still the experiment stage. And they did not have any name for these, so I think the first one we named Nebula. Yes, Black Opal Direct, Justin's channel. And then my other favorite, if not my favorite opal guy, is actually the Opal Mills. That's Phil, and he does a lot of mining in Andamuka. And he has some amazing videos on how to cab, how to set jewelry. I love Justin's channel because we get that sort of instant gratification. But with Phil, he takes you along a whole lesson a lot of the time. And, alright, which side are we going on this one? Yeah. I think I'm going with this side. And it's a pretty straightforward guy that jokes around a little bit, but he also takes us up to the mine. So he has a claim in Andamuka, and he takes you on trips up to the mine. They have not been fully successful yet in the last 2 years. I know they've spent a lot of money. But in the last couple of trips, they have hit a little bit of color. So fantastic promises of finding some really nice stuff up there. Yeah, Sam's wonderful. Sam's great. All of them are. Ray, Dave Duncan, Dave, obviously, Don. I think Don probably is the Don and keeps everybody in check. But then, you know, that's why his family have Diamond Pacific in the first place. Yeah, this is a pretty big piece. I don't know why I chose such a big piece, but I did. And I got to get all the edges in where it's nice and smooth. Yeah, Opal's NZ. I mean, he's fairly new, doing really well. I saw him make it up to Lightning Ridge this year. But what he is helping us with is the actual sourcing and what to pay and how much he pays and that kind of stuff. And that's the same with Aussie Opal. If you go over to Aussie Opal, Pretty good about where they source their material from. I think the best, I mean, if you're going to find the best opal, you better to go to the mine itself. And then remember, you don't want to become the muggy or the mug. Which a lot of us here in the state do become the Mugsy or the whatever you'd like to nickname it. But it's usually the last person that ends up with the not so good opal. So. Shape's not bad. We're going to come up. What are we going to do here? We've got a general shape on this. Trying to do a bigger piece that we can wrap. I definitely like this side better, and now I'm going to start taking down this edge. No, that's not not sure which side I like better. I'm just going to do it this way. Have this 45 all the way around. A little bit lighter around the corner here. Oops. I do have a mask on. I got my water going. This is made with an acrylic rather than epoxy. That might be why it shines up so fantastic. Get this even all the way around. So thank you all for coming in today. Even if you're just here for a little while, it's really appreciated. And if you are new to the channel, breaking out. I go live mostly on Thursdays and Sundays. We do diverse materials from opals, turquoise, agates, jaspers, petrified woods, a little bit of everything. And if there's something you'd like to see, go ahead and put it in the chat. We can always source it out. Alright, I need more water for this material, just to be on the safe side. And I'm going to go double safety by adding a little bit to the trough here. There you go. Yeah, Don's the best. He's always trying to help. He's always helping. He doesn't have any need to help. There we go. There goes one. Done a lot of this on this heavy grit just to get the basic shape. I'm going to see my angles here. Still a little high here. You can kind of see my angles down there. I'm going to go a little bit more on the edge, and then I'm going to start rounding it off. I don't normally stay on this grit for so long, but for some reason this material's working well over here. So, alright, I'm going to do a 30 degree. This is just to get my general shape and general dome. And hopefully not have too many facets in the top. And I think I'm going to switch. Oh, that's nice of you. A little bit. Yeah, I got some stuff coming in. I got a little bit from Dave Duncan today. I haven't opened it up yet. I might wait until everything comes in, and we have more than enough to get through the winter and probably into the end of spring, and have some really cool stuff to cut and show and explore, and it's going to be fun. Leveling out the saw marks off the back. Hey Steve, how you doing today? Welcome in. Jeff, I don't know if you saw the triplet stuff I showed last week. I gotta get my angle here right because it's wrong. Alright, that's better. Alright, looking pretty good. Looking pretty good. Let's go around the top of the girdle. You pretty much do the same thing on each wheel if you're doing it consistent and correctly. You shouldn't have to go back too often. I still have to go back every now and then. I do. And I'm just gonna roll it a little bit all the way around, not too much. Rolling that edge to keep the dome even all the way around. Switch that. You can kind of see the dome forming right over that edge right there. Looking nice. So just feeling around. I got a little bit of facet down here. It's still a little bit flat on top. And I don't like my middle wheel here that much. Sometimes it gets little tags on it, little diamond bits that stick out more than the rest of the wheel. And even though I dress it. Hi man, welcome in. Hi Miguel, how you doing today? Thanks for saying hi. Thanks for popping in, actually. Really appreciate that. starting to take form. A little rounder over here, aren't we? So let's fix that. To fix that, I gotta fix that whole edge down here. Around the top here, all the way down. Alright. Let's move on to the next one. How are we doing on time? We're at an hour, that's not bad. We're doing good. Plus I'm off the next couple of days, so. Get a little bit closer, here we go. Alright. So this is some of Sam's specialty cabin block. This was another experiment piece, so we can name it whatever we want, he said. The other piece came out. Where is the other stuff? I put it in. I didn't. This stuff came out really nice. Same guy, same block, same Etsy account, and just different colors. So what I did learn from him is it's mostly made of gibbsite. Gibbsite is man-made, but it is turquoise. So the colors are natural. I don't know how to explain it. It's not dyed. The colors come from the minerals in the gibbsite itself. So they can twinge each batch just a little bit by putting more copper into it. I think you add a little bit more zinc and you end up a little greener, or some chromium, make it a little bit more green. And but it really is just the same equation as a turquoise and its phosphate. The color is actually the real color that they made it. Pretty interesting, really. But it is an acrylic. No, it's a turquoise, but the matrix in here is an acrylic. And I think that's why it polishes up so well. So this is just the third wheel. Just going over everything we've done. Around the edge just a little bit more. I think what we're going to do today is we're going to move over and just finish these three off. And then come Sunday, we'll start with something new. We'll see how these polish up. So we'll do the whole cut, polish, shape, all of it. We're going to do it today. So I got 3 more wheels to do with these 3 stones. And then we'll see how I did. Just a little. Could take it just a little bit more right there. Hi everybody, welcome. Hi Sophie. Thanks for coming in, thanks for saying hi, really appreciate that. Alright, so we got 3, 1, 2, 3. We're going to move on to the next wheel and go from there. Let me get a little snapshot. There we go, perfect. Now hopefully the move over here is going to be perfect too. So let's take my geysers. I'm going to switch the light over. That's ready. Alright. A couple of little prayers and we're going to move over. So I got to move the phone. So far so good. And bingo. Not bad. Not bad at all. Hope I didn't make anybody sick. Doing a little bit. I'm sitting a little further back now. So I did get something. When did I get it? This week, I guess? I don't know. This week or last week. It's a little desk riser. And I'm thinking of putting it underneath the machine to see if I can rise it like a computer up and down so that I can sit and stand and... Okay. So I gotta be careful with this. Harder here, softer here. If you're just coming in, these first two pieces that we're going to do now were estate finds. So keep your eye out when you're out there. You never know what you're going to find up on somebody's shelf. And everybody else is looking for glass and silver and artwork, toys, whatever it happens to be. But every now and then you find a rock up there that maybe nobody has spied. Okay. Sounds like I need a little sip of coffee. How's everybody doing this week? I hope you had a good week. I hope you were off Veterans Day. That always helps. I do this. I'm sharing this with everybody because I'd be doing it anyway. And I love it so much, but it's fun to just share it with everybody, and the community has been absolutely fantastic to me, which has been super nice, both rock hounders, lapidary, and the jewelry resellers are just awesome, and very kind, generous, and so I thought I'd just share the times that I'm out here cutting, and as I learn, I'm hoping that you guys can learn a little too as we go along, and learn from the good things I do and also learn from the things that I do wrong. I've been doing it, I guess it's about 4 years, and I've got better at it. So I'm far from perfect at it, because I still have to look at what I'm doing. So I'm doing this really soft, sort of going around the top of the dome. This is a 600 grit, so I can feel a little bit, just a little bit of a facet. I don't know if it's a facet or a little bit of an undercut. So just go around that a little bit, see if I can feel it. Okay, it's gone. So you can feel a lot with your fingers. Some people test it with their mouths, which they shouldn't probably do. I can't say I've never done it. I have. I even have a t-shirt that says I'd lick rocks, so I'd lick it or something like that. And you gotta be careful because you really don't know what it is. But you can feel out your facets pretty easily just with your thumb. A little bit over here. But sometimes it's not facets, sometimes it'll be undercutting. So where this stone is harder, where this beautiful green is and these florets are, the matrix up here is actually a little bit softer. And this is natural. We believe it's from Carico Lake, which makes it a pretty expensive stone. And once it gets set, it'll be a very expensive stone. So really nice. Let me just go around the edge just a tiny bit, really soft. Taking off the sharp edge, leaving my girdle there. Ooh, that's soft. See how much came up on that? Gotta be careful. If I didn't screw it up already. Double check. I'm okay. Alright. Like that. I like the shape. I'm going to take a little bit right here. And the sharp edge at the bottom real quick. I know, Jeff. Well, Jeff, to be honest, my wife got me a t-shirt with these big giant crystals on it. And all it says is, "I'd lick that." So some of the looks that I get that I'm standing at the thrift shop waiting in line, I get some pretty funny looks. But I didn't do it, my wife did it. It's her fault. That's pretty funny. And then if they look past the words, then they will understand. But I might have to get a new one for Christmas because I've worn it a lot. Hey, that opal guy. We talked about you a little bit earlier. I was talking about your photography and the lights. They came out pretty good. Way better than what we got here. We didn't really get much here at all. I think the first night, if you went out into the country, you could see it a little bit. Some reds. I was thinking about calling the mayor and having the mayor turn off the lights for the evening. At least for like half an hour or an hour so we could go out. You know, we're fortunate enough we go out to the country from time to time and you get to see the stars out there like you can't see in the city. I don't even know if people in the city actually know there's stars out there other than seeing them online. Alright, this is looking good. I'm just going to go over to the third wheel and do a dry check. It's looking nice. So that was the 1200. So that matrix is a little, you know, it's a little muddy. But it's really nice. 62 and 62 is what it shows on mine, which is fantastic. So welcome everybody in. If you haven't been here before, hit that thumbs up. If you like what you see or interested in seeing some more, I go lives mostly on Thursdays and Sundays. Thursdays around tea time at 5:30. Sundays a little later in the afternoon, sort of 1:30, 2 o'clock-ish Standard Eastern Time, and that's 5:30 on a Thursday Standard Eastern Time, or Eastern Standard Time. And yeah, come hang out. If you want to get notified, just hit the subscribe and hit the bell notification, and hopefully YouTube, which have been awesome to me, would notify you and you can come hang out in the live for a little bit. We usually do about an hour and a half. Sometimes we just cut stones up until the third wheel. Today we're doing 3 stones. We're going to go all the way through. Sometimes we just do some slabbing outside with the tile saw. And different materials from turquoise to opal, agates, jaspers, petrified wood, all kinds of stuff. And sometimes, like this one, we do stuff that we're not 100% sure what it is. I mean, I know it's in the turquoise family, which actually I say that, but Carico Lake turquoise is actually a Variscite. I don't know if I'm pronouncing that right. I believe it's Vauscite. CIPE. And I think the difference in the colorations is one's copper and one has more zinc in it. It's looking really nice. I don't feel anything on top there. So I think that's ready for the ZAM station. Do the back one more time. And we'll do the turquoise. And then the block. And then we'll hit the ZAM station. So it shouldn't be long. And see how these react. So this is definitely not stabilized. Natural. Most likely Carico Lake, which is in Landers County. So this is the turquoise. Really nice. Really like this. Not 100% on my shape, but I'm gonna leave it for right now. If I could bring that in just a little bit right there. But the stone's telling me what to do. I could go, completely pure in here. Might be nice, but I'm leaving the matrix for right now. I could always come back and do it again if I wanted to cut it out. They're not exactly symmetrical, but I love the color and I like the contrast. One with matrix right in the middle of the stone, but also the lighter matrix on the outside. This is a 600 grit, so it's taking a little bit off of it, but not too much. I do have a little bug down the corner here, which I don't like, but I'm going to leave it there for right now. I got enough of the girdle that I can set over the top of it if I need to. This one's different than the other. The matrix is a little bit softer. It's harder though. Even the turquoise is much harder. And this is also natural, I believe. I can't smell anything on either one of these that would suggest that it's been epoxied or acrylics or anything, stabilized in any manner whatsoever. Which is really nice. And makes my finds at the estate sale even better. Going over the back. Sorry, I went offside here a little bit. Thanks, Jeff. Appreciate you coming in. I might reach out to you about that opal stuff. If it hasn't all gone already. Wouldn't mind getting a few pieces of the older opal that had the bluey purple lightning rods through it. Well, that stuff is a mess. Makes a big mess. I still have stains in my tray to the left here from 3 years ago when I did some boulder opal. Alright, let's just come away from the top of the dome to the edge, and we'll move over to the other wheels. I'm really happy to bring you along. You know, it kind of shows you what to do if you ever want to get involved in it yourself. and also shows you what I'm doing wrong, which hopefully tonight I'm not doing too wrong. And then, you know, even learning about epoxies and acrylics and stabilizations and that kind of stuff, what to look for. I think that helps everybody. And what true natural looking stone is compared to some of the stuff that people show you or you might find in jewelry. Not always exactly what it tells you. Alright, here we go. Don't stay out on the beach too long, Jeff. I'm on the 1200 grit in the middle here. It takes off a very little bit. It doesn't take off very much at all. Especially if it's harder like this turquoise on the end here. Alright, let's have a quick look at this one. So that's on the 1200. We haven't even got to the 3000 yet, and it's polishing up nice. So, very happy with this material. Move over just a tad more. There we go. So this last wheel is the 3000 wheel. And unless it's super soft, this really doesn't take much off at all. As you can see in the water that's coming down, you don't really see any material coming down on top of the stone, just water. And it just gives it a really nice finish before going on to that final polish with the Zam. Alright, so oops. So it's 2 or 3. And then the Zam will only take, you know, a couple minutes each. Just nice, really nice stuff. So have a closer look after the Zam. But these 2 pieces were found in an estate sale. So super happy. Hi Sol, welcome in. We're almost to the end. We just got through 2 of them to the 3000, and now got this last piece of block to do. And then we'll be on to the Zam, and we'll be done for the night. But really appreciate everybody coming in. Don't leave quite yet. The Zam's the best part. So this one you can smell because it's a man-made block of gibbsite. And then an acrylic, different. The gibbsite is a turquoise. It's a good thing to look up actually. If you look up gibbsite, it'll tell you actually that it's mineral-wise or equation-wise, chemically, it's exactly the same as turquoise. It was just put together by man rather than Mother Nature. But it's not dyed. It's actually the different mixes of copper and chromium and zinc and aluminum in a phosphate form, and that's what really changes the color. So going around the edge, do the back some. I think we did the back too much on the other one. This stuff polishes up. If it's anything like the last one we did, this stuff polishes up fantastic. And if you're interested in looking at it, or some cabs, especially cab and block, over on Etsy. And at some point I will have this stuff for sale too. Excuse me. That's my scam of the evening. I don't know why scam calls me so much. Alright. So let's up a little bit more. And we're going to do a quick dry test. Make sure I don't have any major scratches going across, and then we'll move on to the next two wheels. We're looking good. Alright, quick dry test. Hi Sam, welcome in. So, I think that is Sam. Yeah, it'll polish nice. So, it's only on the 600 and it's already starting to polish. So that is Sam in the chat, who's one of the nicest guys around. Not just saying that. Very kind, very generous. This is his material. I don't know how many years ago, Sam, it was that you could do it as well, if not better, than the bigger companies that were putting out block. So I love this stuff. This stuff's great. I know, I'm me too. So, appreciate you helping everybody over the last month or so. I mean, you've helped everybody for a long time, but it's nice to see you in the sales and everything too. Keeping everybody focused and on with their mission. Got things to do here. Also love when you throw a few extra things in there too. So yeah, we've been talking about Sam quite a while. Probably at least once a week for a month in the lives. We did the phosphosphiderite. That's from Sam. I think he's got some more of that. And also these blocks that we do. And I do have a full block of the Land is Blue, I think, that he made. I just haven't taken it to the saw yet. Alright, now you can start to see the color really coming out. Pretty good dome on there. And we've got a great little girdle going on. So doing exactly what I'm trying to teach all of you, because this is what I've learned from all the lapidarists here online and locally. I think soon we're going to start up the Gem and Mineral Society locally. They're trying to get me into helping with that. I really don't feel like being a treasurer or anything like that, so if you want me to come say hi, I'll do that. But they want to get that set back up again soon. So we'll be looking for equipment pretty soon, I think. Taking off this bottom edge just a tiny bit, so it's not quite so sharp, and then we're going to move on to the 3000. We got 67 people in here. Hi, Patty. Just do a double check. No, that's just water. But looking pretty good. Now, as we do these next two parts of polishing, this really starts to shine. So I'm pressing pretty hard. Really doesn't take much material off, but with this material, it gives it a really good polish. I can't always press this hard with other material. Get the back. Then we're going to take a walk in the dark, hopefully, and we'll polish these stones off with the sand station. All of these should polish up really well. A little bit more on this one. Sorry I can't pronounce your name, but welcome in. Hi, Patricia. You get a hi, Patty, and a hi, Patricia. And just concentrating a little bit on this last wheel. I want to get every little surface I can, so that when it gets jammed, it just shines. So this shines across the whole thing. Doesn't matter what difference in the color or the matrix or anything. It shines all the way across. It's really great. The other natural stones, you know, the matrix will shine up a little bit different than the turquoise or the Variscite itself. Alright, I think I'm done. Give me a second here. We're going to take a quick walk over to the sand station. And hopefully I'll do it without falling over in the dark. Because it is dark here now. So it's not as cold as it was Sunday. Sunday was freezing. Alright, I got 69 thumbs up. If you're new here, go ahead and subscribe. It really helps my channel. You'll get notified when I go live or when I throw up a short or a video. If you're signed in, it doesn't cost you anything. But it really helps the channel, and it helps me push out more content. So, if you're just here to watch, that's okay too. I really would be doing this anyway, and I'm just really happy to be able to bring anybody along with me. So, thank you for being here. Alright. Let's move. I'm going to take my glove off. We can turn that off. Take that off and that off. Alright. It's almost peaceful. Really? Well, you have to add a T in there somewhere. We have a really good friend called Patty. She's the best. One of the best ever. So, you're always welcome, Patricia. Alright, so we got 3. Now I'm going to get hold of, let's take that, and we're going to take that. Then I've got to get you out of this stand somehow without losing you. Hopefully. Hold on. Oh, shoot. Oh, shoot. There we go. Alright. Hold on 1 second. I'm going to take a quick walk. Hopefully. Oh. It is pitch black and I'm going as if I don't know where I'm going. And here we are at the ZAM station. I just got to get you on the tripod. Dun, dun, dun. Here we go. Well, you wait till you take a peek in a second, Patricia. So this is the little ZAM station I built. Got 2 wheels on here. This is just a cloth buffer. Put those in. Put this down. Alright, let's start with the green one. ZAM. Not very expensive. It is a chromium aluminum oxide wax is actually what it is. And it works great on phosphates. So even though this is a Variscite, if it is from Carico Lake, this should polish up really nice. So let's do a quick, I'm going to do a quick one of those. And then that's sort of a before and after. So let's see how this goes. A little bit of noise, but it's kind of soothing. Going to charge it up just a little bit, not very much. Because it is a wax, if you put too much on there, it will catch any sort of inclusions or fissures or anything like that. Alright, so what I like to do is I like to start with the back. Because if I screw up the back, we can change it. Let's do the back. Real quick, doesn't take long. And okay, so my back's not even, but the polish on it's great. So you see how there's a little sort of rise there, but that's okay. I can't feel that actually. It just looks like that because of how it's cut. Hi Walter, welcome in. You're just in time for the good stuff. So after doing the back, I like to go to the edges. I'm just going to roll it around. Like that. And then we're going to hit the top. It really doesn't take very long at all. And I switch it around to get a little bit of a different angle. That's it. That's the whole stone in the ZAM station. Now let's take a peek. There we go. Wow. This is awesome. Look at this. So you can see that polish. Looks fantastic. Let's get a little bit closer. Really nice. Even up here where the matrix is. That's really nice stone. Very, very happy with that. We think it's Carico Lake. We're not 100% sure, but it does really, really well. So that's one. Let's go with the turquoise. So actually, well, I'll show you at the end. So this is the turquoise. Same thing with the back. Little bevelly, you see that down the bottom. But we're going to do the back first. I'm not even going to recharge on the ZAM. There's enough in this wheel that'll easily polish these stones. Let's do the back. Oh, that looks even better, doesn't it? You can see where it kind of got into the matrix just a little bit. Let's look at that. So that's the back. Doing well. Haven't had a bad reaction to the ZAM, which is what I'm checking for. And then we go around the edges. And really appreciate you all being in tonight. Very kind of you to spend some time with me. And then we're going to go to the top. Not for long, doesn't take long. Switch it around just to get a little bit of the polish from a different angle. And here we go. Wow, look at that. That's fantastic. A little highlight on that one. And we'll get really close on that too. Look at that, that's a beautiful color. What a nice stone. Still don't like it, well, I don't like the shape, but it's okay. I'll take it. What am I complaining about? That's gorgeous. Well, I appreciate that. Thanks, Steve. I hope you got the tumbler fixed. That's really nice stuff. Okay. And then lastly, so we'll show them all at the end. We got the block. And that's what it looks like right now, but we're going to do the back. Same thing. This one I can actually do a little bit more zam on. Just like that. Really quick. People do their polish in a different manner than I do. This is just what's been successful for me, especially with the phosphates. Some like to use leather, some like to use felt. So let's do the check and bang, look at that. So that's the back and that's the check. So, same thing, just gonna go around. Hey, you do what you gotta do. I shouldn't. I was going to say it's like putting stockings on your wheel for your belts. The old school car fix. So yeah, my car used to break down a lot. Gotta be careful. Alright, so let's get all the edges. And now we're gonna get the top. This stuff is fantastic. Sam, if you're still here, I love this stuff. Really great to work with. And I have some other slabs to go through too. So we'll do one of the green slabs next week, maybe that has, or maybe Sunday, that has the turquoise and the gibbsite mixed in it. All right, ready for this polish? Look at that. That's lovely. Really love this stuff. All right, so let me do a quick short on that right there. I'm going to turn this off. These are, hopefully I can get them all in my hand. I'm going to back you up just a tad. There you go. And I'm going to get the rough on here at the same time. So bear with me. And there you go. So from the right, we've got an unnamed block, which, Sam, if you're here, you can name it. So you're here, you can name this if you like, otherwise I'll end up giving it a name. And then these two were from estate sales, and really great finds, really great finds, both natural. We're pretty sure this one's Carico Lake. This could be anything from Kingman to Sleeping Beauty. There's a lot of different things this one could be. But really nice stuff. Thank you, Steve. I appreciate that. And I appreciate you watching while you're fixing stuff too. So let's do that. And do one more of those. So, yeah, thank you all for sticking with me. Really appreciate it. If you're new here, I do lives on Thursday evenings, about tea time, 5:30 Eastern Standard Time. And then I also go live on Sundays after lunch and hopefully after brunch too. So extremely happy with the outcome today. Thanks for coming along for the ride. If you could hit the thumbs up, that's also really helpful. And we will see you in the next one. So I'm probably going to be here. Thank you, Patricia. Thank you, Sam, for being here too. JMV Rock Hounding, if you want to check out his channel, he's a great channel. That's Jeff and Vicky. And didn't see my Captiva tonight, but thanks to her. Walter, thank you. Soul, thank you for coming in. Really appreciate it. Freckle Cat, as always, you're the best. Hi, Husky. I didn't even know you came in. Hi, Husky. Thank you for coming in today. That Opal guy, check out his channel. He's an awesome guy, too. Sikandaris, thank you. And I'm just going up the list here real quick. Marion, thank you so much for popping in. Miguel, you as well. And yeah, hey North Star, thank you so much for being in tonight too. As we get closer to 1,000, I'm gonna have to do something. Mr. Cooper, appreciate you coming in all the way from London. Austin, thank you also for being here. And Kill Switch and Aziz, thank you also. Colin, thank you. And I know that's a lot of thank yous, but it really means a lot to me. Jim McLaughlin, thank you. Come back, see us again. Probably Sunday, I think we're gonna go live. And I'll have some new material then for us to go through. So thank you. We'll see you next time. In the meantime, take care of each other. Most of all, take care of yourselves. Cheers now. Love you all.